It says it's being live streamed.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, welcome to our sweet Opportuni-T night. We're going to get started in just a moment. I've got a couple of little Facebook glitches to get going and make sure everybody can find where we're at. So we will get started in just a moment. So if you are joining us and you know someone that wants to listen in, make sure you share the video right now. There should be a share button at the bottom of our feed here. And we will get started in just a moment with our sweet Opportunity night with the Sweet Tea Stampers. So give me just a second. I am dual computering right now. I've got one in front of me and one to my left, because when I'm in this mode at Zoom, I can't see comments on Facebook. So I have to, and my phone is way too small to try and read comments from at this point in my life. So I have to have a laptop as a secondary resource. Okay, well, it looks like we've got some people watching. I see a hello, so at least I'm getting the feed there on the computer. And hi, Cheryl, hi, hello, hello. So I'm gonna give it about one more minute and then we're gonna get started. Thank you for being patient. We were hoping to get started right at 7:30, but again, Zoom and Facebook sometimes don't wanna play together. So it took me a minute to get everything synced and linked. And we had to end up getting off of the Zoom and back on the Zoom, but we're here and we're ready to share. So, all right, I am going to spotlight myself. For those of you who have not watched Zoom to Facebook, the 5 people that you see on the screen are in the Zoom meeting, and then you're watching from Facebook. And if you're watching a replay, you might be watching on YouTube. So who knows where you're seeing us and what day it is for you. But we hope you enjoy our little Opportunity night tonight, and we're going to get started. Okay, so I would like to welcome you to our sweet Opportuni-T night. For those that don't know me, my name is Tanya Reed, and I am the leader of the Sweet Tea Stampers demonstrator team for Stampin' Up. I have been a demonstrator for 18 years, pushing towards 19. It is really hard to believe that about 20 years ago or so, a coworker of ours, and I say ours because Michelle, who's on the Zoom with me, and you'll hear from her a little bit later, hosted someone at our work for a lunch hour to do some card making. And at that time, my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, who lives in the Atlanta area and still lives there, she was already a paper crafter and a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, but I really hadn't done it yet, hadn't done it with her, hadn't really played with it. But I basically went to this lunch thing, made a couple cards. There was a polar bear involved in that, I think, and some pine cones. So I think it was around the fall, because I remember my first color of ink that I purchased was Ballet Blue. For those going back that far to Stampin' Up! Colors, was one of the first things I purchased, and a wheel with some, I believe it was stars on it, because I wanted to make some tissue paper, because it was one of the fun things she showed us with the Stampin' Up! Wheel. So after that, it took a few months, and then my sister-in-law and brother and some of their family members came up for Thanksgiving. And they brought a little bit of stamping stuff with us, and we did some more card making one evening with a few of my friends at my house at the time. And then that spring, in April of 2003, I decided to sign up and get a starter kit. And at the time, nothing was online. I had to fill out a paper form, and it cost almost $300 for my starter kit, which is crazy if you think about it now, what they go for. So, and it was, you know, you could change out a few items, but for the most part, it was already built for you, and you had to kind of get what they gave you. You could just swap colors or maybe something simple, but you pretty much had to stick with what they gave you on the starter kit. But here I am, almost going on 19 years later as a demonstrator, loving every minute of it, the ups and downs, ins and outs, growing my team. Right now, our Sweet Tea Stampers team crosses multiple states, mostly on the Mid-Atlantic East Coast region. But we have the core of our group is in Southeast Virginia and Northeast North Carolina. And then we have several in South Carolina. We have some in Iowa and Pennsylvania. So we're kind of sprinkled a little bit all over, but mostly on the Eastern Seaboard is where our team is located. But the best thing about it is that we connect in other ways. We don't have to be together in person all the time. We actually use Zoom a lot. We have Facebook groups. Now with social media, and of course, in the last year and a half with the pandemic, we've all had to make shifts and learn how to connect with people in different ways. So it has only made us have stronger bonds for those that don't even live anywhere near us. We may not have ever met in person either. So it's really a great team. I can't be more proud of our team. And I just every day look forward to speaking to one of my team members because they're all like my family and friends now. Some I know a little bit better than others, but most of them I know I could call at any time if I needed help with something personal or stamping related, and they would jump on it and help me out. So I know I've missed some comments. I see a few have popped up on the Facebook feed. So hello. We are having a good night. I don't know about how the words get on the screen because I did not choose that option. It could be, you mean the closed comments? Like on mine, it's not showing the words at the bottom. So it might be your own setting. Candy, I see you asked that question. It is hard to ignore them though, because they're definitely not perfect interpretation of what I'm saying, probably. So, we'll talk a little bit more about some of the things I've done over the years, but really I want to get into and talk to our Sweet Tea Stampers tonight and let them tell you a little bit about it from their perspective. So I am going to spotlight up here with me. First up is going to be Beth Strouser. Let me see if I can get it to work right before I get going.
There you are.
I'm making sure it's popping up on my feed here. I can see us on the Zoom feed, but not the Facebook feed. So, okay, it does not look like it's dual on the Facebook feed. Can you see it on, are you looking, I think on
it's not on Facebook now.
Okay, well, that's okay. It'll probably just pop back and forth to whoever is speaking. So
that's exactly what it's doing.
So I will try and pause and not interrupt when you're speaking. That way it shows your face and not mine. Okay, so Miss Beth, tell us first how long you have been a Sweet Tea Stamper.
I have been a Sweet Tea Stamper for 8 years now. This time. I was a Sweet Tea Stamper for a little while, and then I dropped. And then I realized that I loved this hobby and I needed to rejoin as a demonstrator for that discount as a hobby demo.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it kind of led right into my next question. Well, besides that discount, what else made you join Stampin' Up?
Well, because I had already known some of the folks, some of the ladies, because we're pretty much all ladies, I think, in this group. They are a great group of women. And Tanya, you have already said how great they are in helping everything, whether it is letting someone borrow a stamp set or coming to the rescue with multiple things. And also just sharing what they know and passing it on to everyone, not just, keeping it to themselves, but really sharing. I love the camaraderie.
Awesome. I'm sorry, I was switching the views around as you were talking. So it flipped around to all of us. That all sounds similar to a lot of things I feel, and I know others feel in here. So we might hear that answer a bit from others that are going to be interviewed tonight.
Yes.
So let me ask you something more specific about what you offer and what do you do as part of your, and I say the word business very loosely,
Great.
What do you do as part of your Stampin' Up business or your Stampin' Up offering?
Well, I do not hold any classes. I have not held any real classes. I have done some community yard sales where I have just spotlighted my business. But I have found that Paper Pumpkin has sustained my business for several years. And I really encourage Paper Pumpkin subscriptions whenever I can, because it's an inexpensive way for your customer to get their feet wet a little bit and see how good the product really is compared to some of the big box stores. So that's really what I do. Is I love Paper Pumpkin, and it really has helped me out in my business.
Okay. Well, and that's a great way, because those are things that Stampin' Up already kind of puts together for you. So you can definitely offer them to someone who's brand new to stamping and paper crafting, and also to an avid crafter who likes to just get a kit in the mail and put it together, or take it and change it and make it to their liking. So that is a great tool to help sustain your business and grow your business, because I think you've converted quite a few of your Paper Pumpkin customers into team members, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I have. In fact, right now, all 3 of my team members were Paper Pumpkin customers.
So I would say it's safe to say that they may have gotten the Stampin' Up bug with
Absolutely.
the help of Paper Pumpkin.
Yes.
And you.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Well, let me ask you I know you talked a little bit about the camaraderie and the friendships that you've had, but why else do you like being a Sweet Tea stamper specifically? Is there anything else that our team does, or that we offer, or different things we do? Is there anything specific besides just a general team feeling?
Well, I certainly liked the monthly meeting when we were able to get together. That was a lot of fun. We certainly have great fun when we've been to what was convention and now is on stage, and even virtually. We've always had a good time, and I'm all about having a good time.
That's right. I agree with you. So we did have a question, and I know some people have commented just some general hi and hello and hey y'alls. But we have a question from Billy Ann, so I'm going to let Beth answer it. What is Paper Pumpkin?
Paper Pumpkin is a monthly kit. And in that kit, you will get every single item that you need to complete that card or treat bag or treat box. There are numerous kits that they provide, and everything from your adhesive to your stamps to your ink spot, envelopes, everything for $22 a month. And it comes out on the 18th of every month. You'll have it. Okay, well, they really make an effort to get it to us by the 18th. Sometimes it's delayed a day or two because of the postal service, but with everything that's going on, I don't think a day or two is too bad. It's a great way to get your feet wet with Stampin' Up, get to see how great the products are. And what we've done in the past too is we'll have a Paper Pumpkin night where everybody just brings their paper pumpkins to somebody's house. And that's what we do, whether it's the current month or For some of us, it might be a couple months previous that we just haven't gotten done. So it really is just an awesome way to see if you really like it before you invest a lot of money into the rest of the products, the larger ink pads and things like that, the quality of the paper. I can't say enough about the quality of the cardstock. And that's Paper Pumpkin. Comes in a great little orange box. I don't have one handy.
I do.
And yeah.
Mine came in today, the 18th of the box.
See, they got theirs today. I don't have mine yet.
I don't have mine either. This is the one from July. This is the one
okay.
from July. So I don't have mine yet, unless it's in the mailbox. But I think I checked the mail today, and I usually am late sometimes from some people. But well, that was a very good description of what Paper Pumpkin is. So thank you, Beth, for sharing that.
My pleasure.
All right. One of the things that I haven't talked really about yet on this Zoom is that right now there is a starter kit promotion, and the promotion is for joining Stampin' Up and purchasing the starter kit. And as a bonus to that, right now during the Sale-A-Bration period, which began August 3rd, so it's been in a couple of weeks and goes until September 30th, someone who joins Stampin' Up, in addition to their starter kit, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later, they get to choose a free bundle from 12 different choices from the holiday mini catalog. And so this is a flyer that shows you those 12 choices. Now, I have asked Beth and each of the people I'm interviewing that if you were to join Stampin' Up today and get this starter kit promotion, which bundle would be your choice of free bundles? Now, keep in mind these bundles that are free in addition to your normal starter kit, and I'll talk about that again in a little bit. They range in price from $31.50, so this is all completely free, to $60.25. So between $31 and $60 in additional free products. So Beth, you get to go first. Which one would you pick?
Yay. I would hands down choose Nature's Harvest. Is that what it is? Or Harvest?
That is right. Nature's Harvest. That's,
Nature's Harvest.
I have that one and I do love it. It is a great one. I love the silhouette dies for all those stems.
Yes, I love the cone flowers, and I love the versatility of the dies because you don't have to stamp them. I have seen so many different uses of just the dies on YouTube and other Facebook and Pinterest for uses of that die set. So I love that.
So this is the one she's talking about, the one at the very bottom on the right. It's on page 71 of the Holiday Mini. So thank you, Beth. And thank you for sharing with us tonight. I am going to stop the screen share here, and I'm going to talk to our next Sweetie Stamper. So let me switch us around. Before I start that though, like I said, I'm trying to keep track of the screen in front of me, the things that are being talked about, and making sure that I don't miss any questions here on the Sweetie Stampers Facebook community group. But I didn't mention at the very beginning, which I'm kind of glad I waited because I think there's a few more people popping in and out, but if not, I'll mention it a couple times. I am doing some door prizes for tonight's event. Some door prizes. They will not be announced tonight because it's too crazy to do that in the middle of this Zoom and streaming. But what you can do to get entries into this drawing for door prizes is, one, make a comment. It can be any comment you want. Hi, how are you? Love the Sweetie Stampers. Whatever it is, you can tell us where you're tuning in from, whether it's in Virginia or North Carolina or anywhere else. You can tell us who you know that's a Sweetie Stamper. You can even put who your favorite is if you really want to do it like that. But just write a comment. So you're going to get one entry for making a comment. You're going to get a second entry for asking a question. So Billy Ann already has a second entry because she asked a question about Paper Pumpkin. See, that was pretty easy. You don't even have to talk. If you're on the Facebook Live, you can just make a comment or ask a question there. and I will try to get them all answered. And then the third thing is to share our video. And so if you share it, there's usually a button at the bottom of the Facebook Live to share this, and you can just share it. And we would love to give away some door prizes. So be on the lookout in this Facebook group before the end of the week with the winners of some door prizes. So, all right, so let's pop over and talk to Miss Sherry. Now, I did want to mention that Beth is currently titled as a silver demonstrator. So we might talk a little bit more about what that means as I get going through the rest of the interviews, but Beth is a silver. So let me pop over to Sherry and we'll share the spotlight. This is Sherry Ducat, and she is a bronze elite demonstrator. So Sherry, I'm going to let you start off, and you can answer how long you've been a demonstrator, and also if you want to answer what made you join Stampin' Up.
So I've always done crafty things my whole life, from sewing, smocking, you know, but in my later years, as I got older, I would see these cards that a client's bookkeeper, when I would go in to help them, she would have them there, and I would be like, I want to do that. Oh, they're beautiful. How do you do that? And so we kept on talking back and two. So finally I said, would you do a class if I get people to come? And she said, sure. So we did one, and actually I still have my first card because I can't get rid of it, because it was like, I did that and I love it. So I did a couple of more classes with her, but with her being in Virginia Beach, it just got to be a lot. And I'm thinking, Tanya, it must have been December of 2018 at the Great Bridge Craft Fair. You had your table, and my daughter and I, you know, we stopped, we looked, you gave me the little card for a free class. And, you know, I kept it. I didn't throw it away, but I was in my busy work season, so I didn't do anything about it for a few months. But finally, I, you know, reached out and found more about when I could come to a class. And I think it might have been a nighttime class, the first one, maybe what is it called? The Happy Hands stamping. I became a demonstrator August 25th of 2019. And I did it like everybody else said, to help fuel my spending, the discount, and being able to get advance notification to be able to buy things, you know, what, a month in advance, or, you know, and see what people were making with them, to know what I want to buy. Didn't take me too long in spending money. In July 31st of 2020, I was bronze elite. And I'm basically hanging in there with my own sales because I do still work full time. So this is more of my hobby, but I have done cards for a couple of friends that wanted me to do them some Christmas cards. I did my daughter's thank you cards for her baby shower gifts. And the other day at work, we have a gentleman leaving to go become a realtor full time. He was in our admin department, and I showed him the thank you card, and he's like, I'll have to keep that in mind. So, you know, he could call me one day and say, would you do me some thank you cards that I could give my clients when they buy a house from me, or, you know, contact me. I would love to do classes. I would love to do more, but just time, just with what I can do now, that's all I can do.
Well, thank you. That's a very good explanation. So basically, your main thing was to get that discount because you were already putting a good amount of money into it. And as if people are looking behind you, which people tend to look behind you in Zoom, they can see you've got some storage and organization of a few things behind it.
That's one. I have one on the other side that's full of ribbon. Yes. Yes.
So, and yeah. I've seen her room, and it is very nice. And I know it doubles as her office as well, because she does work from home. And like she said, she works full time. She also helps with some grandchildren.
Yes, young grandchildren, very
Yes.
young grandchildren.
Yes. So, but I think it's great that, you don't have to do classes if you don't want to. That's why it's so perfect for anybody, is because really the main thing it gets you first off is a discount. And if you're already buying a significant or a decent amount of Stampin' Up supplies and products, just getting that discount off the bat is fun in itself. But then if you want, like you said, if you would like to do classes eventually when maybe you get some more free time, you have that option, and you can also make some money as well doing it that way. But in the meantime, it looks like, just sharing your projects and your craft has led you to, and I know we've talked about it, some custom orders, I would say, for different people wanting some bulk cards for different occasions, especially coming up with the holidays. So,
yes.
All right. Well, why do you like being a Sweet Tea Stamper specifically?
As Beth said, the people, the camaraderie, when we have our monthly Sunday fun bunch, it's nice to be around people that love what you're doing, and we have fun. We eat, we make cards, we talk, we laugh, we become personal friends with all of the people on the team. And I think, like you said earlier, any of us would probably do anything we could if any of our fellow teammates asked for help, no matter what it is. Stamping, personal work, we'd do everything we could to help them if that was possible.
Yeah. I agree.
Plus, we like you as our leader.
Oh, well, thank you.
That's a good bonus.
Thank you. All right. Well, I'm going to ask you, if you were to pick out, and I'm going to screen share again, if I can pull it up to the right spot, the Sale-A-Bration choices. What would you choose as your free bundle if you were joining today and were offered this choice?
Well, I probably wouldn't know if I was just joining and hadn't done Stampin' Up before. But with what I know now, I would pick Christmas season, because of all of those die cut tags, all those different sizes and things, because to me, that is one of the important parts of making a card, is figuring out what to put your sentiment on, what you want to say. And putting the right one on the card just kind of makes it all go together. And you've got such a variety there. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different sizes, shapes that would be very useful. And just so you know, I do have that bundle. I did get that bundle. I have it. So that would be, but for someone else, if you were a newbie, I would say just look at what appeals to you. When you look at the pictures, do you like the gingerbread? Do you like that style? Just, don't worry about putting it all together. Just what do you like?
I think that's a very good advice.
Yes.
Yeah. Pick what appeals to you. It will come, like you said, it'll come together. There's so many resources out there once these catalogs kick off and get going, because so many people post pictures online, whether it's on Pinterest, or we have special demonstrator pages where people share ideas constantly. I mean, to the point where you can't even keep up with them all. So, and there's all kinds of, you can Google just about anything. So I think those are very wise choices, Sherry. Thank you for that.
I think most people would look at what they buy. I know when I see something, if I like it or not. So if I like it and I buy the stamp set, the die or the punch or whatever, and the paper, if it's available, I am more apt to make cards out of it if I buy what appeals to me when I look through a catalog. Now later, you may have a class and show me something that when I looked at it in the catalog, I'm like, nah. but once we do a class and we can see it put together, that's why I think your classes are important.
Well, thank you. All right. Is there anything else you want to share, Sherry?
No, I'm just having fun and keep buying. I don't want to get rid of anything yet. I know at some point I'm going to run out of storage room, but right now I like to have one of everything.
Yes, eventually you will run out of storage room if you don't purge or pass it along to someone else. I learned that pretty quickly.
Yes, for sure.
Yes. So,
for sure.
Well, thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I am going to move on to the next interview, and that is going to be, and by the way, Sherry, like you said, next week is your anniversary. So happy early Stamp-iversary, as we call it.
Oh, well, thank you.
Next week. It's the 25th,
yes.
you said,
yes,
right?
You're right.
All right, next I'm going to bring on Kathy Donovan and let her get going, and I'll let her start with first telling us she is a silver titled demonstrator, and I'll let her tell us how long she's been a demonstrator and what made her join Stampin' Up.
Thanks, Tanya. So my 8th anniversary is coming up next month, the 22nd, which also happens to be my son's birthday. So maybe that's why I was crazy that day. I don't know, and signed up. But I had been going periodically, not consistent, to some of the sweet tea. Well, they weren't sweet tea. It was Tanya's club. And I had some friends there. Anyway, and I really enjoyed it because I was making scrapbooks and I was spending lots of money on stickers, and they kept going up in price. And I'm like, gosh, you use it once. And I've kind of got the same themes going again a lot with the ocean or the military. So my logic in signing up, because there was no special going on at the time, was just that I was going to save money because I can use then one stamp set, not only for cards, but also in my scrapbooking. And that was great. And actually, prior to even joining, I had enough material. When my daughter got married, we put embellishments on all of her wedding anniversaries, and I made all her thank you cards. And that was just so much fun. And then she was thrilled, obviously, to have those all. And everyone felt like they got a specialized thank you card from my daughter and her new husband, and got lots of compliments from that. So that's kind of cool.
Okay. Tell us a little bit. And now I know, as you mentioned, you started by coming to a club that I was part of, and you were part of it for a number of years before you joined as a demonstrator. Mm-hmm. Tell us now how you, what you do as part of your Stampin' Up business.
Okay. So when I was a member of Tanya's club, basically on the side, I had some friends that just love to make cards and they love to craft. So I would have them come over, and then the money I made from that, actually I used as a donation for other organizations. So that was a benefit. And then as Tanya kept growing bigger and bigger, and she stepped aside after grooming us, she allowed us to demonstrate within her club. And as we built up our confidence and had guidance from her, then she stepped back and we took over. And we actually have 4 demonstrators now that do this club. So we all try to financially make sure we do it at least once a quarter. So that helps our business. Paper pumpkin, I've got a few of those, and that keeps me going as well. I stopped doing any of these little at-home things with COVID, and then my life kind of took a change. So we'll see. Like I was literally not even here the entire month of July. There were 2 days. That was it. And it was only to come home, repack, and leave again. So life's been busy. and it'll continue that way for a while. So I'm not sure when I'll get an opportunity to have kind of people come back to my house just as an ad hoc thing. So club is where it's at right now for me, and I love that.
And that keeps it, like you said, it's a consistent thing that you can plan. And when life does throw you the curveballs, you can make an adjustment and still make it work somehow.
Correct.
And also, you just mentioned you were gone the whole month of July, so it's also very flexible. So
right. And having other, you know, and if emergencies, like one person had an emergency, they had to be out of town, we picked up, you know, their event and we just shuffled around. So it's actually, it is easier having a few more demonstrators to have that flexibility. So.
And y'all have done really well. Y'all keep rolling forward every time. They still keep me on the email chain for the most part. And I have dropped in the past, not so much since COVID. At least once or twice a year, I try and drop in on the club as a guest. But they keep me in the loop, and it's a very solid club. They have it rolling every month pretty much. I don't think they skip a month even.
We used to skip December, but now we have 12 members and we just do it early December. So yeah, we work it out.
That's right. Okay, well, let's see. Why do you like being a sweet tea stamper?
Well, number one, I love Tanya. I love Michelle. And I love having met the variety of people, which, you know, with my work, we all have our little niches. You know, I've got the military, and then I've got the neighborhood, and I've got my running clubs. And this just expands that community. And it's people from all walks of life, from everything. And therefore, I love getting to know everybody better. With some people, one of them who's on this, you know, we run. And so we have an automatic, not only do we love making cards and crafting, but we love running. And so just seeing everybody and meeting and seeing what you have in common or what you don't have in common, but you learn from others is wonderful. I also love the challenge of Better Your Best with Colleen. Those have been fabulous events. And even though there's times I'm like, I can't expand my business at this time, you're always learning something. And I love that. And I love to learn more, like the inside scoop from, you know, Tanya and Michelle and her monthly Zooms or meetings that we used to have and we'll be having again, or I will be able to attend again. We'll put it that way. Okay, how's that? Sorry, I talked too long.
That sounds awesome. I love it. I mean, you touched on some different aspects, like the variety, the different people from different walks of life, people at different ages, at different points in their life. Mm-hmm. You know, you're retired, but you're a pretty busy retired person. So, you know, and that's, it really, you know, reinforces that Stampin' Up, getting the starter kit and becoming a demonstrator, it can fit into anyone's life if you want it to fit into your life.
Right. And, you know, so Beth is the other runner. Oh, by the way. And
it's
you know,
not me. It's not me.
It was just fun to seeing her out there. And there'll be times like I had no idea she had signed up for the same race. And then to see her, you know, it just gives me more encouragement. Hopefully gives her encouragement. Just because like, I know her. Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Well, let's let you, is there anything else you want to share before I do the
nope.
screen share?
Do the screen share. And as it's coming up, I can tell you as a first timer, and just like Sherry said, my logic is I like Christmas. So I would have leaned more, even though I love fall, I love Christmas. So, and I love cats. And a lot of my friends have dogs. So the sweet little stockings would probably be my pick. Because I would already in my mind start calculating, oh, I could make a card for this person and that person. And I know that I would reuse it multiple times. So that's why I would pick that one.
Very good choice. Very good choice. And there are a lot of pet people out there. And this bundle, like you said, has both cats and dogs. So, and even if you don't have pets yourself, currently we are pet-free home, not by choice
here
at this moment. But I've had pets most of my life, and nearly everybody I know has had pets or has pets. So, yes, thank you for sharing that. And I like that logic too. Okay, alrighty. Well, thank you, Kathy, for chatting with us and sharing your insight and your wisdom about being a demonstrator.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, we've got one more Sweet Tea Stamper to talk with tonight, and it's Michelle Brown, and she is a Silver Elite demonstrator. She's also one of my BFFs. We have been in this together the whole time. In fact, she and my previous boss, who was also her boss at one point or another, is the one who hosted this workshop at our work 20 some years ago. And so I'm gonna let her talk and let her start with how long she's been a demonstrator and what made her join Stampin' Up.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Michelle Brown. I have been a Stampin' Up demonstrator. September will be 15 years. So it was September 2006 that I started with Stampin' Up. So as Tanya said, we both started out at our prior jobs at work 20 years ago. So I had an infant son who was 1. He's now 21. And I didn't even have my daughter yet. So I had one baby, and I did not want to become a demonstrator at all, but we all wanted Tanya to become the demonstrator because we knew we were interested in the card making, the scrapbooking, like starting a hobby, doing something that we could, do together that was creative and something outside of work where we could, maintain and grow our friendship. And so we all wanted Tanya to sign up to be the demonstrator. So she did. And so like she said earlier, she's been at it almost 19 years. And then we would go to different things. I would go to different things at her house, and I would bring people, and a couple of other people that have come in and out of being demonstrators would stamp with us that we used to work with. And the reason I ended up joining 15 years ago was because Tanya, there was a group of us that lived in there was a group of us that lived in Virginia Beach that wanted to stamp in the evenings in Virginia Beach, not drive to Chesapeake or farther away. So Tanya kind of convinced me to sign up, and I was a little hesitant. So 15 years ago, my kids were 6 and 3, and I didn't really want to do it. But I did because I knew that I was buying enough products to need the discount, and I knew I had a built-in group of kind of people that wanted to come and stamp at my house. So I kind of did, in the beginning, I did one event a quarter, and I would have friends come, and I would hope to get about $150 in sales, which was half the minimum. And then I would spend the other $150 myself. So I kind of was able to meet half my minimums with a once a quarter type. It wasn't really a club. It was just a stamp night at my house. And then everybody would come and kind of stock up on what they needed for the next quarter. And that's kind of how I started out. And then over time, just got more people excited about it and more involved, and just kind of really wanted to grow my business a little bit more. After you go to, like Beth said, the first convention, or now they're called On Stage, once you go to that, you get really inspired. And I got inspired to kind of grow my business a bit more and really be a part of, one, to stay a part of Tanya's team, but just to have my own team and kind of really grow it a little bit and have more people and share the experience with more people. So 15 years, it's crazy. Sam leaves for college on Saturday, and she's been through it all with me. So 15 years, wild.
It is pretty crazy to think that like her whole life,
Yes.
you have been a demonstrator among other things, but it's been a part of your life and her life the whole time.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool. So I know you talked a little bit about some things you offered at the beginning to keep you going and to be able to get your sales requirements met. And those are done just so those that are watching or watching in the replay. Stampin' Up! Requires a quarterly sales amount of a minimum of $300 in sales. Those could be your own orders, or they can be someone else's orders or other groups. And then, or they could be a combination of that. So like Michelle said, when she first started, her goal each time she had a party or a show or a workshop or a stamp night at her house, her goal was to do 150 from other people, and then she would match it to get to that $300 so that her quarter was handled. She didn't have to do anything else with it, and anything else she did above that was over and above. So I know your business, Michelle, has cycled with your life. And so talk a little bit about what you're currently offering, and maybe touch on what you have offered in the past in your business.
Yeah, so I have kind of, like Tina said, very much cycled up and down with what's been going on at work and what's been going on in the world and things like that, what's been going on with my kids. In the height of my business, I was holding multiple events in a month, hosting workshops with people outside of the home. I do most of my things in my home, just especially when my kids were younger, because I didn't want to have to bring them everywhere. I mean, they came. I mean, I brought both my kids to multiple events when they were little. So, but most of the things I do at my home, and people can come over and stamp here. But I do workshops occasionally. I like to do fundraisers. I know Kathy had mentioned when she spoke about doing things at the house, and then the money that you take in, you can donate to different causes. And I like to do that as well. So I have one coming up in September at a friend's house, actually, and we will be charging $20 a person, and we'll make 4 cards. And then I will donate the whole $20 to the fundraiser that we're doing it for, which is HERA, which is an ovarian cancer fundraiser. So I've done quite a few of those over the years. I've done them at different places. I've done them at like Casual Pint, like out in the public. I've done them at people's homes. I've done them at my home. I like to do, Tanya and I team up quite a bit and do our Stampin' Bingos. We do mega camps at my church where we rent out my church space and hold like mega stamp camps where you make like 20 cards and you can have, 30 people come and stamp. And those are really fun. We just recently did a holiday bingo with over 40 people in attendance, which was really wonderful. And Tanya and I jokingly, it was a potluck, and Tanya and I jokingly just like, we miss all the people and we miss stamping in person, but we really missed having potlucks because you get so much good food and different like people around and just different things that you never get to eat at home. So that was really fun for us. But yeah, I try to do, things at the house, bigger events with Tanya. And that event, the bingo, was also with Colleen, who Kathy mentioned is another demonstrator in our area that we've become very close with. She's not part of the Sweet Tea Stampers, but she's awesome. And she's really been an inspiration for all of us. Another just really good person to meet and get to work with. So we've done the bingo with her. And then I also do like mini stamp camps at my house and different things. And we've tried to do, Tanya and I have tried to do events where we experiment or do different things, and some of them don't go that well. But we are always learning. My business has not been the best during COVID. A lot of people during COVID, for obvious reasons, have had to go online and do videos and Zooms and Facebook Lives. And it's just really not my thing. I'm at a computer all day at my full-time job. And to come home and get on the computer again is just really hard for me. So I haven't been doing too much with those types of platforms. But and part of that is also because when I'm stamping, I want to be with people. You know, we talked about the Sweet Tea Stampers and how much, you know, the diversity of people and, you know, camaraderie, that word keeps coming up. But it's true. But that's also the same in my own personal business with my own personal customers. They're not just customers that I see once in a while, they're my friends, and their age ranges are big, and like, but we're all like, it's really fun to stamp together. And I really enjoy having them to the house and just chatting and seeing what's up with them and going through life with them. And so it's been hard for me during COVID. My business has gone down a touch just because I haven't been doing as much in-person events, but I have been maintaining, just need to, I was hoping kind of we would be able to keep up the momentum of doing live events, but I don't know what's going to happen over the next couple of months and heading into the fall and winter months with COVID. So we'll just have to see, but it's going pretty well. But like Tina said, it's cycles, it's up and down, and sometimes it's down, but I don't really worry about that too much. I just really focus on the projects and the people and kind of keep it going from there.
Yeah. Well, that was a good description of kind of the phases of your business, and you kind of answered part of my question about why you like being a Sweet Tea Stamper, referring back to the camaraderie and the people and just the community of our group. And we all share this common love of paper crafting, and it's an easy way to just connect with people, and it's low key, and it's, you know, so most people, once you start doing it, you realize it's not hard to do. It may look like it could be a hard thing, and obviously there are challenging things you can learn and try. We have a couple people on the Facebook stream, where they were, I don't know if they still are, but there are people that on our team, it's like a competition. I feel sometimes they're posting pictures of like a very complicated card, like, so various steps, multi-steps, and it's fun. I mean, it's fun to share these things that we're doing with each other. And, you know, just challenge each other directly or indirectly, to expand our love of paper crafting, and in the meantime, our friendship and our community. So, did I have anything else for you? I think you answered pretty much all the questions that I had given you.
You have to ask me what bundle I'd buy.
Yes, I'm going to ask you that. I'm going to definitely give you that. Go back to that. So let me get that screen share up, and I'll let you pick your bundle. So far, to recap, Beth said she would get Nature's Harvest. Sherry said the Christmas season. Kathy was the Sweet Little Stocking. So Michelle.
I would actually pick the first bundle that I bought from this catalog, which is Frosted Gingerbread. I love the stamp set. I love that it's part of a suite that has, you know, the reds and greens, your real red, your old olive, and then crumb cake. Like, those are some of my favorite Christmas colors. I know they're very traditional colors, but I love that. I love the dies that you've got the outline shapes and then also the detailed shapes to layer them. I love the paper that coordinates, that you can cut out the little Christmas cookies and make them right out from the dies. You don't have to do any stamping if you don't want to. You can just cut those out and use those. So I really, really love, and again, I just love that it's a full suite. You've got embellishments that go with it. You've got ribbon that goes with it. Decorative masks that go with it, like a ton of stuff that you can add on to it. So I really love the Frosted Gingerbread suite of products. So that would be what I go to.
Very nice. Well, I would have to say, I didn't really pick one, but I will say that I'm a big person that likes to look at value. So the most expensive bundle out of the choices is the Christmas to Remember, which is kind of a partner with the Christmas season, which I fortunately already have. So I think I would choose the Christmas to Remember bundle, which is very different. The dies and the stamps are not the same. So the stamps are actually all the words in this particular bundle. So that's the one I would choose for many reasons. That it has a lot of holiday Christmas words in it and some really cool dies, but then the value of it is pretty significant when you're looking at the starter kit special. So it looks like we hit on quite a few of the choices there. But if there's someone that does not have a die cutting machine, the ones that include a punch, which are the one with the peaceful deer and the penguin place, those would be great bundles as well, because you don't need a special piece of equipment to put those to use right away. And they do both have some very fun coordinating products and are easy to work with. So that would be my advice for someone that may not have a die cutting machine at this point. So, okay, well, I am going to tell all the ladies, thank you again so much for joining me tonight. I'm going to try and get us all on here one more time. Oh, Beth stepped away, but that's okay. We can see her pillows. But thank you, ladies, for joining me tonight for our Sweet Opportunity Q&A session. If you are watching currently on the Facebook streaming, or if you watch a replay, just a reminder that we are going to do some door prizes. So the way you get into the drawing for the door prizes is to, number one, make a comment. And again, the comment could be, hi, how are you? It could be, I'm tuning in from Texas. It could be, I love the Sweet Tea Stampers, whatever you want to say. You'll get an entry for your comment. If you ask a question, you will get a second entry. So we did have another question come up, and I forgot to recognize that as it came up, I think, during Michelle's chat. But it was not a question that was related specifically to starter kits or related to other kits and candy. I don't have an update. Actually, I've been watching on the leaders page some concerns, or not concerns, but there hasn't been an update yet on the new kits. So that answers that question quickly. But so anyway, ask a question, and then if you share the video, you're going to get a third entry as well. So I'm going to stay on for a few more moments and just chat a little bit longer, but I'm going to say bye to the ladies on the Zoom. They're welcome to sit on the Zoom, but I will I'll take them off the screen. That way they can go take care of whatever they need to take care of at their home. But thank you for joining me and sharing some thoughts and answering my questions so that I don't have to talk the whole time. So, all right, ladies. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to cover before I close out this Facebook video is the starter kit. So we talked about the bonus products or bonus bundles that are available as part of the starter kit during the Sale-A-Bration promotion, which does go on until September 30th. So we have about a month and a half left for the starter kit promotion. If you would like information about the starter kit, please let me know. I also will be posting at the header of this Facebook Live links. If you want to join as a Sweet Tea Stamper, there is a way to do that, and it's all usually done now online. And so each of us, I will post a link for myself, Beth, Kathy, Michelle, and Sherry at the top of this video. So that's a quick way to join our team. And what you're going to want to do is get your starter kit plan together. So your starter kit is basically your choice. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, when I joined almost 19 years ago, the kit was pretty much laid out for you. You could just swap a few items here and there, but now you choose your own items. Your total cannot exceed $125. So you want to get as close to $125 as you possibly can. So if someone has been a stamper for a little bit and has a few things, what I would recommend is the following. Let me grab it. What you're going to want to do is pick some coordinating products for your starter kit. And again, you don't want it to go over $125. So I have an example out of the regular catalog. I didn't pick one out of the holiday, but I picked one out of the regular catalog. I would choose the Sweet in Symmetry bundle, which has the stamp set and the dies. I like the stamp set because it has some images and 4 greetings, and then a punch that goes with it. So that's a bundle. This example kit is starter kit would equal about $124, and I think we're off by 75 cents, so $124.25. I would also include with that the coordinating designer paper, and my packet's already open and well used. And to go along with the designer paper, I would choose some coordinating cardstock. So I'd choose a basic white cardstock, a Night of Navy cardstock, and Calypso Coral. These are all coordinating colors of the designer series paper. So I'd get those 3 packs of cardstock along with my designer paper, the stamp set and punch, the coordinating ribbon that goes with this. It's a flamingo metallic ribbon with a little bit of gold fleck in there. Not the best, it doesn't want to focus on it, but some coordinating ribbon or an embellishment. I would get 3 ink pad colors, again, that coordinate with the paper. So in this case, I chose Flirty Flamingo, Night of Navy, and Just Jade. That way I could do some of the stamped images as far as the leaves and flowers go, and also the greetings and some of those colors. I would also choose a D block, because that D block is going to make sure it fits all of the stamps on the stamp set. And I would also get a pair of snips, which I love our snips, and a bone folder. So these would be an example of a starter kit that would equal $124.25. So again, the trick is that you need to make sure your kit, your initial kit that you purchase, does not go over $125. Now that's the value of it. You actually only pay $99 plus tax for it. So the shipping is free. So that's a 10% savings off the bat. So you would pay $99 plus tax. So in Virginia, where I'm at, it's about $105 total. So in addition to all these products, you're going to get to choose one of those bundles that I had all the ladies pick out tonight. So there's 12 choices, and they range from $31 to $60. So you would get an additional bundle out of the holiday catalog as part of your starter kit. And the best parts are that, of course, you'd become a demonstrator with Stampin' Up. As many of the ladies mentioned, you'd be part of our Stampin' Up Sweet Tea Stampers team. We get lots of sneak peeks and pre-order and preview options as a demonstrator, pre-order periods prior to releases to the public. You get a 20% discount on everything you purchase going forward. And if you end up selling to other people, you also get a 20% income from what they buy. So you're going to get a discount for yourself, and then you're going to get an income of 20% to start with on any orders you get from anyone else. And there's lots of other benefits. There's demonstrator exclusive Facebook groups, lots of resources, training. As several of the ladies mentioned, we have been to lots of conventions and big events together over the years. Of course, with COVID, they've all been turned into virtual events. But we're hoping in 2022, we're really hoping that we can all get together again and go to some big events together that Stampin' Up sponsors. And those are really just the best. I will say next week, Michelle and I are going away with a couple of other Stampin' Up leaders that are not part of the Sweet Tea Stampers group, but other groups that we're friends with. We're going to go away to Georgia to a lodge for a crop retreat. And we're also doing a leadership virtual event with Stampin' Up for the weekend. So I have been so looking forward to this girls' weekend away. And that's just one of the benefits, is like, it's a creative escape. It's just getting to know others and share this passion of paper crafting with others, and really becoming lifelong friends. Michelle and we started out working together, but we've just never stopped being friends, and we love paper crafting together. We've encouraged each other over the years to keep going. And we've both met so many new people throughout this journey together as Sweet Tea Stampers. So let me make sure I covered everything I wanted to cover. Again, don't forget to make a comment, ask a question. I'm trying to see if there are any more questions. I don't think there are tonight. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm just a message away, and a lot of you can message me on Facebook Messenger. And if you don't have a way to reach me that way, if you would like my email or something, just reach out to me through this feed and message me or comment, and I can reach back to you. And again, we are excited to continue to grow our team. We love being together. We can't wait. We did start doing in-person meetings again this summer. They're still small in size, but we still offer it virtually too. So if you're not local to Northeast North Carolina or Southeastern Virginia, we have plenty of people that don't live locally or can't come to our in-person stuff. So they still connect with us through our Zoom meetings and our Facebook groups, because we stream everything so that everybody gets a chance to participate, even if they can't be there in person. So it's really a great community, and I just love my team, and I'm so excited to share all of this with you. And I hope you enjoyed tonight's Q&A session and my interviews with my ladies. So thank you again to Beth, Kathy, Sherry, and Michelle. I'm so pleased with all of your answers. I did give them questions ahead of time so they could think about it, but I did put a few of them on the spot maybe. But I hope you learned something from them and realize that, you know, being a demonstrator doesn't mean one specific thing or one specific way. It's really just a community of people and ladies, specifically for us, that connect and love paper crafting and card making, and just the camaraderie and the friendship of being together and doing those crafts together. So thank you again, everyone, and have a great night, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.